Hello, and welcome back to Cindy on a Beautiful Day. And on this beautiful day, we are combining three delicious things: ribeye, French onion soup, and pizza. I know what you're thinking, but it's really good. It's a French onion soup pizza. And let me tell you, that reverse seared ribeye, if you don't know what reverse seared ribeye is, let me tell you, it is the best way to make steak. You will love this recipe. So let's get to it. Let's start by removing our ribeye 30 minutes before cooking it. While we're waiting, we can get started on our pizza dough. In your warm water, mix your sugar until dissolved, as well as your yeast. It takes about 7 to 9 minutes for our yeast to bloom, so set that aside, and let's start mixing our dry ingredients: salt and garlic powder into the flour. After the yeast has bloomed and is foamy, go ahead and add your oil to it. In your mixing bowl, go ahead and combine your wet and dry ingredients. Go ahead and knead on medium speed for 8 minutes. This is halfway through the process and the dough is still lumpy, so it needs to mix for exactly 8 minutes. When done, you'll notice that the dough is smooth and very elastic. Go ahead and place it back into the bowl and put a damp towel over it and put it in a warm place to proof. Next up, steak. Pat it dry. To season the steak, I used a French onion soup packet and I just removed all of the huge onion pieces. So the seasoning couldn't be simpler: a French onion soup packet and black pepper. Season steak evenly on both sides and rub it into the ribeye. Your meat is going to cook shortly in a 250-degree oven on a sheet pan rack. Now don't judge my little setup here because I don't quite have a sheet pan rack yet. Cook until your desired temperature or doneness. Now let's get started on our next component: French onion soup sauce. We start by slicing our onions thinly. I like the taste of yellow onion and red onion, so I did both. But you don't have to be extra like me. You could just choose one. Next, mince your garlic. To start cooking, we melt our butter. Next, we add our onions and we toss to ensure that each piece gets coated in oil and butter. Set it in a single layer and leave for 3 minutes. Stir again and then leave for 3 minutes. Next, go ahead and add your garlic and cook for 1 minute. Add your flour and then cook for another minute. Deglaze with your red wine and cook for about 30 seconds. Next comes your beef stock or beef broth, whichever you prefer. Stir and scrape to get up all the flavor bits. And finally, add your bay leaves and thyme and mix. Turn stove down to medium-low and cover and cook for 10 minutes. Then cook uncovered for an additional 7 minutes until it thickens like this. Remove from heat and set aside. Now it's searing time for our steak. Go ahead and grab it out of the oven. I want mine a little more done, so I took it out at 123 degrees. I then seared it on high in that butter, 1 minute on each side, and then I made sure to get to those sides of the steak too. Resting isn't necessary for reverse searing steak, but we're gonna do it to get our pizza ready. Go ahead and punch your dough and get it ready to put on the pizza pan. Oil a napkin and run it across your pizza pan to prevent sticking. Mine have seen some rough days, so don't judge me. Go ahead and put your dough on the pan and get it spread out evenly and par bake it in the oven. Crust par bakes for about 7 to 9 minutes, so we'll slice up our steak while we wait. Look how delicious that looks. We could chow down right here if we wanted to, but let's save it for the pizza. We're gonna cut our slices in half so that we have bite-sized pieces for our pizza. Let's grab our par-baked pizza crust and put on our French onion soup sauce. Spread that thing evenly for decadence in every bite. For the authenticness of it all, we use Swiss, Gruyere, and Parmesan cheese. Go ahead and sprinkle it evenly all over our crust and sauce. Your pizza then goes back into the oven to cook for 8 to 10 minutes. Now y'all know how that video magic works. Here we are, 8 to 10 minutes later. Go ahead and add your sliced pieces of steak evenly onto your pizza. Now you can garnish and eat your pizza just as is with the steak looking yummy. But I have picky kids, so it cooked one more time for 5 more minutes. And here it is. Go on ahead and put some color on that thing and sprinkle on some parsley to garnish. Ladies and gentlemen. Time to cut and serve. Look at that cheese. A great serving suggestion would be banana peppers because they complement the decadence of this pizza. Now it's your turn to make it. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more delicious recipes.